is July 10th and we are painting another water scene. I was just looking at the image actually today and thinking, oh, shall I get the wax out? It may be necessary, so I may do that. Let me just see who is here and pull you up so that I can see who's here. Live. Good morning, good morning. How are you? I did not get too much sleep last night, so we'll see how I work on 3.5 hours of sleep. Hi, C. Hey, Teresa. Good morning, good morning. Okay, I have my coffee. I have water. I have a very messy palette, which and I apologize to those of you who did my workshop, and I was gonna do a time lapse of it, and I thought I pressed go and it didn't happen, so I apologize. This is the image that we are working on. Some of us probably have already steamed ahead and done some others, but this is what I'm going to be working on. I may try and do a few different things, maybe make her in paper, cut her out. Yeah, like there's a few different things that we can work on. I love the blur in the front. This is from Nanette. It's of her daughter surfing, so that's kind of cool. I should probably put my name in this as well. So this was yesterday's. If you missed yesterday's, we did a sculpture park in Victoria, and the day before we were in Liverpool with Louise. I have 2 that I have to catch up on, which I haven't yet, and this is Joanne's in the Netherlands, and this is Carolyn's. Can somebody remind me where this is? This is not out in Sedona. Is this like Colorado? Maybe somebody knows. This was day 4. I need to look up whose was this and why did I not write it down? Oh, Laura's. Oh, I did write it down. I just can't read my writing. This is Laura's. Beautiful, serene, not so easy. Like you think that this is like, it seems very simple, but not so easy. This is Rashmi's image from India, from Pondicherry Beach. And this one was my live. It was day 1, but I did it on day 2 or 3, I think. And this was the live with Beth. Just so that I remember if I'm ever looking for that video and I can't find it because I've forgotten where it's gone. Oh, and then yesterday we had, if you did our my workshop, thank you so much. I did finish the 2 that we didn't finish in the session, but we had started those 2. And then we did these, we kind of worked on all of them together. I like working like that, especially when we're working with paint, because it's a little bit of a struggle to get a lot done. Well, you guys, I know, like I apologize for the speed that some of these got done in, but it was really to teach you that you don't need to worry too much about the first pass, and then afterwards, like we got into the more detailed things, and I know that you guys enjoyed it if you did it. Hi, Marie Claire, nice of you to join. Marie Claire has decided to join our mornings, which is lovely. Hi, Nanette. Hey, C. And Meryl, good morning. And Teresa says, just love these. Yeah, I'm really happy with them. And actually, they feel really nice on this on this hot press, so I may be getting some more of that hot press. I think it was like a cheap, I think this one was from Timu. I don't love the initial texture, but I do like how they feel after the fact. They feel almost like a canvas. I do like them. All right, I'm gonna get started because if not, I won't get this done. Now I need something to mask basically the water because I want to get the sea in. There are ways. I'm gonna just sketch out different compositions, and this is Surfer Nanette's daughter. She looks like she knows what she's doing, Nanette. And this is day 10. You can't see me writing, but I am writing. And good morning from North Carolina. Hi, how are you? Can we still purchase the class even though it's over? So, Nanette, usually I don't release the individuals until the whole set is over. But because you're in our group, maybe I can sell it just to you. But we'll have to chat because I'm not posting it yet. So we'll have, and I know that it came down yesterday, or it's not available for purchase. But yes, the replay will be available at the end of the summer. I'll be posting it, the individual workshops, but you can still purchase the group. Maybe you can still purchase the summer group and get the replay. So that's the only thing, because yeah. Oh, and Nanette says she's been doing it for a while. Is this the one that lives in Costa Rica? You look like you have to be quite fit to be a surfer. Okay, I'm just getting her shape down because I probably will need help with that when I'm doing the larger piece. So that's why I've kind of just sketched that out first. I kind of want to approach it in a similar way to the first one with the wax. So I may get my candle going. I'm not going to make her so big on the piece. Maybe I'll make my piece more of a square. So let's do a more square. And then I'm going to make the wave look really big. I mean, it is big, but I'm going to make it look bigger. Nanette says she lives in Miami, but they have a home in Costa Rica. Oh, okay. I was going to say the waves in Miami are probably not as great as Costa Rica. I'm sure the waves in Costa Rica are much better. And her hat stays on while she's surfing. That's pretty incredible. I feel kind of like she's been superimposed there. Nanette says, oh good, the bigger the better. Yeah, so I'm going to do this. I am going to light my candle. It'll get stinky for me, but not for you. Susan said, good morning, rainy morning from the beach near me. Where is the beach near you, Susan? And good morning. All right, we've got a candle going. Good morning, Leslie. How are you? So nice of you all to join this morning, everybody. So I'm gonna burn some wax or melt some wax, and I'm going to use that especially on the edges. I don't need to use it everywhere, but it's more about the texture on the edges so that I can get the sky, excuse me, and also the sea without worrying about going over things. So, but I've learnt from the one that we did with water, or they're all with water. The one that we did, I think it was Carolyn's piece, that I can't go over. There is a lot of resist with the wax, and probably not as much resist with the masking fluid. But my masking fluid is in a drawer under things which are laying on top of a drawer, which I can't get to right now. So I'm gonna go the wax route. And I think I will go with, could go with acrylics instead of gouache. Maybe I'll do that. I'll get my acrylics out. I think that would be a good option. It has a cord to tighten. It has a cord to tighten. Oh, okay, the hat. And Susan says, hi, lucky me to be at a friend's home in East Hampton, New York. Nice. Sounds lovely. I think in my live today with Sam, I think she has some images from Hampton. I was gonna paint some of her images. She has a couple of really lovely images, but then I'm thinking I really want something with a little bit more shadow, similar to what I had yesterday. And if I have a choice, I should probably pick what I want to be painting. So if I do the painting live, I will put the image that I find maybe in tomorrow's slot, Saturday. And I think I keep moving this one. Sorry, Zoe. I'm going to put it back to Monday because I know it was on Monday. So I'll move the image that I choose either to the Saturday or Sunday in our Padlet so that we have it and you can use it, and then I can pop the replay link back in the Padlet as well. I also added replays in the on my YouTube replays. I've added them, whichever ones, or if I've done some, in the Padlet for you all so that it's easier to access. I was trying to get organized. Hi Julia, you made it. And hi Joanne, how are you? Don't worry, we're a little bit behind because I'm a little bit behind because I'm trying to get some wax melted. All right, I really like the top bit of this wave, so that's what I'm gonna try and mimic. And I think I can pull it over a little bit. Let's just burn a little bit more wax. Just need to move the candle a little bit more so that I get more wax on this. Sorry, I wasn't going to use a candle and I was just going to be careful on my edges, but those little bits I don't think I can get. But I will do this because if not... Just a rough outline of the wave. And then this bit. Did you take this picture, Nanette? Good morning, Kim. Hi, good morning, Maria. Hi, Joanne. Good morning. All right. We have 2 Joannes here. Do we have Joanne from the Netherlands and another Joanne? Just curious because I thought I recognized one. And hello, Carolyn. If you can't comment, I hate that you can't comment. It's not nice because I know that you're probably here, Carolyn. So hi. Okay, so you probably can't, well, you can see a little bit what I'm doing. I need to just create these little splashes. And like I said, I don't want to go everywhere because I do want to still paint within the splash zone. The splash, what it's called, the break of the wave. Is it the break? I'm sure there's lots of terminologies that I do not know when it comes to surfing and wave terminology. I'll stick to painting terminology. The cap of the wave? Oh, Nanette says, no, I think it was her instructor at the time. This was from a few years ago. And Natty says, hello, Blue Shine Art community. Still humid weather, 96. Another frizzy hair day. LOL. Hat makes a really important segment of society. LOL. Oh, that's funny. I really like humidity in my hair because it's usually flat, so it feels nice to have a little bit of fullness in my hair. It does look a bit crazy, but I do like it. Like, there's nothing better than ocean hair. I love it. The break of the wave. Thank you. Did you look that up or did you know that? Okay, I need like some teeny tiny dots. At least it smells nice, but I don't think I should have it burning for very long. Now I'm putting her at slightly smaller than the image. I think you can, when you're doing these images, you can change it however you want to. It's your picture, it's your story. If you're using an image, you don't have to do it exactly how the image is. So I'm making her a little bit smaller to make the wave look a little bit bigger. And hopefully it'll work. Nanette goes, I knew that. Yeah. Oh, and Nanette says, my hair loves humidity. But do you love your hair when there's humidity? Do we have anyone who lives by the ocean here? Oh, actually, Marie Claire, you are very close to the ocean. Or to a harbor. I saw that on your Substack. How pretty. It looks so pretty. All right, I'm just pulling in a few little points here, and I will take advantage of having wax to just block in some of the reflection here on the I don't need to do it everywhere, but I do need to do it here. Maybe I'll just work with, I've got my gouache here. Maybe I'll just work with gouache. I was going to work with acrylics, but then I have to go and get them out and everything. And I'm running out of time already. Okay. So I'm going to try and stay within this because this all has to be, maybe I can just make this a little bit more solid because I really don't want to go over this with the paint. I just have to, well, I just have to be careful, I guess. It was the edge that I'm really trying to pay attention to. All right, I'm going to start painting. Enough of the candle and the stinky wax. Ugh. Oh, you know what I could have, and I'm gonna quickly before it dries. I'm gonna wax in her hat, because then I can just use the paint. So I'll do that. There we go. Okay. All right, now I can start. I'm gonna use Schminke. Hopefully I have enough yellow. Nanette says, yes, it curls nicely, even if it does get frizzy, has more body to it. And Marie Claire says, yes, I am right on the coast, southwest coast of Dorset, UK. It was lovely there. It was lovely there today, but I hadn't taken my swim stuff. But yeah, that is a beautiful part of England, in Dorset. If nobody's been, you need to go. I went down there for a theatre festival. I was painting backdrops when I was like 17 for a theatre company, and we went down there. And is Glastonbury in Dorset, or is that more, or am I thinking of like, no, it's not the complete opposite way. Is Stonehenge Dorset? Or I'm so bad with my geography from England. You can tell that I left England at a young, ripe age, can't you? Okay. Marie Claire is going to be giving us a little bit of a history lesson this morning. Natty says, I like snow and 30 degrees does, oh, I like what 30 degrees does being close to Great Lakes and Niagara River count. Oh, I mean, I see windsurfers on season. No, that doesn't count, Natty. I mean, ocean. We're by the water, by the lake, but that's not ocean. But yeah, there's lots of windsurfers. Oh. All right. I'm not sure if this is the right blue, but it's, we were talking about this yesterday, and it's really about the value that's most important. So getting that, the value is much more important than color, because you could turn this into like a pink sky and I think it would look beautiful. Mary Claire says, no, it's Somerset. Northeast of me by an hour, and Wiltshire is where Stonehenge is, which is northeast of me by an hour and a half. Okay. It was all just basically west of me, and that's all I knew when I was growing up. So get around to Heathrow and turn left, basically. That's what I had to do. And actually, no, I think Glastonbury, when I went, I wasn't even driving. Like, I could drive, but I wasn't driving the car. So I think it's different when you drive. You take note of where you're going a little bit better than when you're not driving. Okay, I'm going to use what I've got on my brush. I know that this is also not the color that I want. But I want that smooth feel like you're in the water down here. And then I need some much lighter. Should really wash off my brush. Got the hair as well on there. Oh, C says, I'm about an hour away from the ocean. Yes, you are, from Acadia, or from the coast of Maine. Okay, so I'm going to get some light in here. It's really very close to actually being the lightest point, almost like the wave. But there are some darker areas in the wave, which I will get in as well. And you know what? I think this paper is not white, so I may be able to go over with white on the wave. Which should be quite good. We have some much more brilliant blues over here to the left. Just down here. I'm going to get some of those greens in as well. There's a lot of green in this. And I think my sky looks way too turquoise, so if I can correct that, I will. I just looked at my screen. I don't mind the sea or the water being as turquoise, but I think the sky can take a little bit of mauve in it. All right, that green of the water up there, it's quite dark, so I'm going to take some red into the colors that I'm mixing as well. I think I went a little bit too. That can be used for the darker areas. I keep seeing lighter colors that I need to put down first, which I didn't really see until now. So when I'm mixing the darker colors, I'm seeing where I need to put lighter colors, and it's confusing me a little bit. Is everybody doing this one today? I could have probably taped the edges of these too to make them a little bit prettier. Okay. Need some of this color, but definitely a lighter value of it. We'll see how this works here, but I'm going to go back in with some darker tones as well. There's almost like at the edge of the wave, there's like a shadow that I think is really important that you catch. Smaller down here, but it's still there. Natty says, "See, does the water call you? I feel like I have to see the lakes or river minimum twice a month. It's very calming to my soul. If I don't, I kind of feel a draw to need to get close to water." And Natty says, "Does the surfer have a hat on?" Yes, she does. And Nanette says, "I am." Okay, you probably, sorry, I didn't look up, probably when I was speaking. And he says, "Oh yes, Shar, by the left-hand side of the water, there's light reflection in the water. That's cool seeing the different variations of shading and light." Now he says, "Great photo, many different areas of light effects." Yes, lots. And hopefully we can catch it. Just waiting for certain areas to dry, but I can come in down here with, let's put a little bit more blue in some of these areas. This is where when you start doing like the shapes and things, you just have to not get lost, I think. Sometimes you can get a little bit lost. And the shapes are really important. Saying I, putting them on in the wrong place. I want them to kind of disappear down here. And because I made my wave bigger, I have to make up a few of these. So don't, my brain is also making up some, so, you know, if you're sitting there going, I don't see that one, don't, you know, it's not exactly what you see. And tonight is art hang party. Melissa, don't think Melissa is here, but she's doing animals in action. I don't think I'll be able to make tonight, but if you guys all can make it, there is, we'll just go to her page on YouTube, and if you subscribe, you'll get a notification. All right, I can go a little bit darker. Tiny little bit over here. There's a little bit more green in there. I love those big water scenes that people paint, just a canvas with water, basically. I love it. Love how it looks. I would love to have one hanging on my wall. I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford one. Adam, I can't remember his last name, but Adam, now I need to look, because you'll see his images are so beautiful, his paintings. I've shared his stuff before. Adam Hall Art. If you haven't seen his work, go and check out his work. This is one of his paintings. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous. Love it. And another one of his paintings. Like he does mountain scenes as well. This is one of his water paintings as well. You see that? It's amazing. Yeah, he is one of my favorite water painters. And Lee in our group, I don't think she's posted a picture, but she takes pictures underwater of people underwater. Like that's her business, and she goes around to people's pools, and they commission her a piece, a photo of, you know, their kids or their animals underwater in the pool. You don't have to have a pool for her to do it, but okay, this, for some reason, something's not working here, but I will fix it. I need some more white. Oh, that went a bit yellow. So within the water as well, there's a little bit of this greeny turquoisey color. And actually, just mixing up these colors now, the Schminke actually did a really good job with the turquoise. And that was just a little bit of the yellow and the primary cyan that they had. I feel like I have to wait and take the wax off maybe over here, because I'm going to have very light areas as well, which I may have to go over. So I'm not sure if I'm just doing a lot for nothing right now. So over here I feel like it's more turquoise, and then it goes into becoming more mauvey blue over here with a little bit of, like, the shadow is definitely more of a blue. Let's take like a bluey gray. Oh, good morning, Melissa. Nadia says bucket hats, pardon, not bucket hat, bucket hair. C says, oh, I have a fix all the time. We have a stream. Oh, she has to have a fix all the time. We have a stream and a river in our town and a nearby lake. If the ocean still has power to pull. Right now, I haven't been to the ocean for way too long. Melissa says, you could paint a giant water scene. Yeah, but it's, you know, I could, but it's not my thing. Like, I feel like if it's your thing, you do it. Like, I would like to one day have made enough money to pay for an Adam Hall painting. That would be cool. Like, sell my work to be able to buy another piece of work. That's what I would like. Yeah, I feel like it's more like, I'm just a big admirer of people who can do that, because there's a lot of patience there. There's a lot of studying and patience. Okay, I'm gonna have to work a little bit faster. It's but I do enjoy these months because it is like a whole learning curve when you don't do something like this every day, to really study how brush strokes go onto your page. And I think it's a good challenge. I can go even lighter back here. And like I said, the wave isn't even, or the paper is not white, so I think I can put some pure white on it as well. This is the base of her board. Oh gosh, I don't know, Natty. Oh, I think between 10 and 15, or maybe 5 and 15, Natty. I think the ones that I've seen are painting, Natty. I haven't seen that they've been available for print. He has a lot of exhibitions, so okay, I need it a little bit darker blue in some areas here. It's very calming to paint water. And like I said, I think I've had 3 hours of sleep. So the reason being, my daughter found a secondhand couch for her apartment online. Like, you know, we have like Marketplace here in Canada, but I think you guys have it over in the States as well, maybe in the UK too. So my husband was at work yesterday downtown, and he was supposed to be back by a certain time. Anyway, the lady said, you know, you can come pick it up, and it was a great deal. Like a little sectional couch, which would fit perfectly in her apartment. And she's like, you can come anytime after 9. And so we messaged my husband, can you be back? Like, can we go and get it tonight? Can we tell her that we're going to get it? And he's like, yeah. So anyway, he was running late because he had some work that wasn't working. Some machines weren't working. And we basically didn't get to the place to pick it up until like 10:45, I think it was. Then when we went downtown, these are like, she's completely new and I have never rented in an apartment building, and Melissa and whoever else is in an apartment building will know, and we did not know. And the realtor who did all the, you know, the transactions and, you know, was there to help sign papers and everything with the landlord, she didn't tell us either, but it was probably in the contract that we hadn't completely read through. But the rule is that if you have any large furniture, that you have to book the elevator to move big items into an apartment building. We had no clue. So we arrived downtown Toronto at 12 like minutes to 12 midnight. And we go in and we speak to the security guard at the front, and we're like, which loading dock should we do? Should we take the couch up? And he's like, what do you mean a couch? And we're like, we have a couch that we are bringing in. And he's like, well, do you have like an appointment, or do you have like, have you emailed us? Have you got the, and you have to give a check of $500 to secure, like, for any damages, basically. Well, we didn't have a check with us. And I'm like, we are not going home with that couch, like, no way. So he was like, well, you can't just bring it in, like, what if you scratch like the walls and stuff, like we need something. So he called, I guess, a lady who was either in charge or she was, you know, there in the building. And she said, well, they can bring $500 cash and then we can do it. But, you know, this is not okay. Like, we don't usually do this. And they should have informed us beforehand. Yes, you need to book the elevator. So, because it was a couch. Hang on, have you not ever need to book the elevator? Or you're saying, yes, you need to book the elevator? Anyway. So fortunately, they allowed us to do that. So we had to find an ATM, and oh my goodness, the dodginess of that area around. So her apartment is fine, but anywhere east of that is not fine. So there was, and I felt bad because I didn't have any like small change on me, or like, and anyway, my daughter had to take $500 out of her account. There was a lady who was homeless sitting there in the wheelchair saying, please, can you give me some money? I need money to eat. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And then there was other people coming up, and she was like, it was an open air ATM taking money out in the middle of Toronto, in probably one of the worst areas of Toronto. Anyway, so that was an experience, and we finally got home at 2 a.m. this morning. Yeah. Maria says, I've never heard of this in my life. Well, I think that's because we don't rent an apartment building. But yeah, it's not, you can't just take anything up. I guess they're worried about, you know, dings and everything. And so he had to come into the elevator. He had to take photos of the elevator beforehand to make sure that we knew, you know, little things that were scratches already there and stuff like that. And it just took a little bit of time. Anyway, we didn't touch any walls with the couch. And I think we did a great job. And now she has a couch. So yeah, that was my night, everybody. And I haven't even drawn your daughter yet, Nanette. Maybe I'll just do the wave. No, I feel like I have to get your daughter in. But I think I may take away the... I think I'm going to take away the wax first. And then if anyone has to go, you can go. So that was quite an evening. And you know, it was a difference between paying $400 for a couch and paying $1,700 for a couch. So they the girls pulled together and said yes to buying the second-hand couch, which I thought was great of them. And then it's not so precious either. But yeah, I guess I should have, I just didn't think. Did not think. Oh, I can use what colors I had yesterday for her body. That would be good. I need a few darker blues though. I just looked up and saw. Need some much darker, almost to the purple point. Painting water is almost like texting. Not having a very easy time with the talking and painting. And I think it's more because it's a real we talked a little bit about this yesterday in my workshop, but the control of your brush and how you use it on your page is something that I guess takes a little bit of concentration. This just needs to be a lot greener up here and not blue. It's going to change a lot when I take the wax off as well, so I will do that. Probably could have put a little bit more of a darker tone down here. And if you're only using the 3 colors, it does count as the primary challenge that Beth is doing as well. So if you're over with her. And I did see that there's the 3 materials challenge coming up in August. So maybe we should all just do the 3 materials challenge in August. Pick a theme for pictures and do that. I think that would be a really good challenge. Okay, that should be a little bit bluer. That needs to dry. Thank you, C. Oh, Melissa says, wow, there's a lot of people watching today. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Oh, describe elevator review. You want an elevator? Okay, so they have an elevator. The elevator was nice, Amy. She lives in a lovely apartment, and I think, you know, they did well finding it. So they did have padding. They had padding on the elevator, which, you know, like I thought, well, then they don't really need to but it's everything from like the baseboards that they look at, the loading bay, doors, everything, not just the elevator, but everything. The elevator had stainless steel doors, which I think a lot of them do. And there were a couple of scratches on those elevator doors already. So I guess some people are a little bit rough when they come in. So I guess they put it in place so that, you know, when they have to replace or fix it, they have a budget to do that. I missed the name of the artist that you mentioned. Was his name Andrew Hall? And you want his painting. Are you going to buy it for me, see? Oh, thank you. I have to make sure that there are no like wet patches on this before I scrape the wax, because if not, it's just going to go everywhere. And because there's a lot of paint, I don't think there is. I just have to make sure. Okay. All right, let's scrape. Let's scrape. And what I'm going to do this time, which I didn't do last time, and it made a huge mess, is put a piece of paper here so that I can scrape it onto the paper. You know, you learn all these things. Andrew Hall, thank you. Yes. So I think I could probably go in with white paint, because see how it's like darkened this area a little bit? And maybe I should have put white down first. I haven't really done that with the wax, thought about the under color first, but I think maybe it's something that I have to start thinking about. It's very oily, this candle. Very, very oily. You can see that on my paper as well. Thank you. See, I mean, you know what? I'm sure you could do it without the wax, for sure. But I feel like it just gives me a little bit more freedom to make the sky, and I think the sky should have been a little bit lighter. I'm like that chef that always complains about what they've just made. Okay. We will be who we will be, right? Okay. Am I gonna mess it up with? No. I will try and make it work. I just need a smaller brush. The scraping is really fun. Yes, very fun. Oh, Adam Hall. Thank you, Nanette. See? If I didn't look him up, I'm so bad with names. All right, so really thank you so much for this picture. I totally wouldn't have chosen it, Nanette. So that's what I love about our mornings and doing this with you all, is that having your images to work from daily, really, I think it pushes us all to try different things. And, you know, even if you're not going to use it to sell, or, you know, and that's not where you're at right now, I think it's still a really great exercise to work on images that you wouldn't necessarily work on. So thank you. Thank you, all of you. And I still think if we do the 3 materials challenge, we should pick a theme. So see, there's a little bit of resist with this, which I think maybe if I worked with acrylic, it wouldn't be so much, but it's okay. I think I'm making her a little bit smaller. It's okay, the wave will just look bigger if I do her smaller. No, I'm going to have to do her bigger because I have left space. So let's get her leg in here. I really like the idea of local businesses when we did that month, because we were celebrating our community, and I think it made you get out a little bit more. I wouldn't mind doing that, something like that for the month of August, celebrating local businesses, or local markets. That would be also nice. Garden centers. Yes, Water by Adam Hall is incredible. Nanette says, I tried masking fluid, peeling it off now. Ooh, and do you like it? Random question for the group. What is your go-to party food, appetizer, hors d'oeuvre? Mine is, well, like a hors d'oeuvre is guacamole, because I love guacamole and I make a mean guacamole, if I do say so myself. But I love that fresh taste. Bruschetta is also another one of mine. And I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of go-tos, but yeah, tell us in the chat, what is your go-to hors d'oeuvre or appetizer of choice? And if you are here and you have to go, don't forget that Samantha Dion Baker and I have a live today on Substack. It's free for everybody. You don't have to be a paying subscriber of Substack. It's just on the live. And if you're not on Substack and you need to get on there, go to the link in my description here, and I have a link to my Substack. But again, you can subscribe for free, so come over, say hi. We're going to be drawing another or painting another water scene at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I will be putting the image that I will be working on in the Padlet for this Saturday and Sunday. So that's what I'm going to be adding it either Saturday or Sunday, the one that I'll work on. I'm not 100% sure if I'll use Sam's photo or if I'll use, I want one with a lot of light, similar to what we were working on yesterday in the workshop. So if I can find a good one, that would be, I would prefer that. So I'm going to do that. Sam has some lovely photos too, so if you're a member of Sam's Substack, she'll have posted those, I feel, on her group. So yeah, join us, come over, paint with us. If you can't make it, the recording will be available shortly after, not straight away. It does take a little bit of time. Maria says, I make goat cheese bruschetta with lentils on top. Ooh. And Natty says, I think Reb or Olinda actually did a sample building that Adam Hall painted. A sample building that Adam Hall painted. It's the blue turquoise building. I'm going to have to redo their New Orleans buildings videos. Oh, did they paint a mural, Natty? And Julie says, hummus, olives, enchilada. What is hi, Julie. What is anchois? What is anchois? Meryl says, at what time Eastern? 10 a.m. Eastern. Yeah. 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, let me get some dark shadows going on here. Oh, I see the strap now of her. I know I don't have to do too much detail on here, but I do want to get at least the shadows in. Masking fluid worked well, Nanette said. I probably should have waited longer to peel until the paint was very dry, but I'm happy with the results. And Julie says brandé de morue, like it's a bit specific, I guess. Oh, is that brandé de morue? What is that? Is that like a pate? And Amy says caprese, tomato, basil, mozzarella, balsamic vinegar, perfect. And Melissa says, I'm taking notes, everyone, thanks. Melissa says, Natty, Olinda was recently in New Orleans. And Susan says, in addition to guacamole, I make a caramelized onion dip and chips, yum. And C says, anchovies, Julie. It's anchovy ground to a paste with olive oil and garlic, black olives. That's a dip for veggies. I love that as well, Julie. I thought it was that. And C says, wow, I looked away and then the surfer appeared. Yeah. I feel like I can bring this up a little bit. The surfboard. And she's got that ankle thing going on here, down here. I don't think I have to do too much to this. The hat I do need to fix though. Just the shadow on this side. I'm changing the orientation of her hand a little bit, and I've got to put her hand over here. So tomorrow morning we will be on Zoom. I look forward to seeing you all. And if you're interested in joining our group for our dailies, yeah, just go over to Substack and or message me and ask questions, and I will let you know. I'll let you know a little bit more about it. So I really should be finishing up here. I did want to see if the white that I have, let's have a look, if it can give a little bit more splash. She's quite dark, isn't she? But there, she is in shadow, so let's have a look. Also, my brush has to be much cleaner. Maybe this water is cleaner. Oops. Don't want to spill that water. Okay. Natty says, I think they did a creative art piece of a similar building of Adam Hall when they visited New Orleans. I mean, the building looks similar to his turquoise building, pardon, on text misspelled. Julie, we need to have a dinner party at yours. Yes, and Branade is a spread of cod and milk. Delicious, very southern. Nice. And Melissa says, you're very welcome. I'm planning to lure Shar over with food and great landscapes. Yeah, because next year when I go to France to do my retreat, by the way, I will be releasing that this weekend, everybody. It's a 9-day art retreat in near the Dordogne region. And there's only 8 spots, so if you're thinking of joining me, jump on it. I'm going to be releasing that probably Sunday, so watch out for that post if you're interested. There'll be workshops and great food, and hopefully I get to see Julie beforehand. Well, definitely. We'll definitely make it happen, Julie. Okay, so I wanted to go over the... So I think it just helps, like even masking fluid, or it just helps mask those areas so that you're not going over with paint, and you can just add to it, just like when you're blocking in a color, you can just add to it afterwards. Add to the splash. Okay, sorry. And over here there isn't as much. I'm gonna put a little bit more white on her hat on this side. And I've made the wave bigger and her slightly smaller. Probably didn't need to take this much white out. I can use these palettes when I see you all at 10. Thanks for joining today, and thanks for watching, and thanks for the conversation. Melissa says, I will hide in her suitcase. Melissa, I know you're small, but I just take a hand luggage, so I'm not taking a big suitcase. I like to be able to move around, and I feel like when you have a suitcase like that big, it's a little bit difficult. We're foodies, so entertaining cooking, and cooking is my idea of fun. I love it too. And he says, I remember the New Orleans blue building looks similar to Adam Hall, same building. I like, wow, they painted the same building. I think of Char's paint she mentioned of someday purchasing. Thanks, Natty. And Natty says, and how artists are drawn to the same building to draw. It's cool how artists that see same beauty and draw or paint the same. Is it the build? I'm confused with the building, Natty. I'm not sure, like, was there a building that he was? I thought it was waves. Maybe there was a building on his page. I don't remember the building. I have to have a look. I've switched my computer now and I can see the crowns. Who has the crowns today? Who has the crowns? Thank you, Marie. See you soon. If you're around tomorrow and you want to join our Zoom, the link is in that post that I sent of our mornings. All right, I think I am done with this one. Whoops, or was done. I feel like there could be a little bit more of, look, I'm not done, am I? Because I'm doing more. But I think there could be a little bit more, like just movement of like the gray tones here. And also where her hand is, maybe a little bit more color on the top there. Thank you. And Leslie says, Julie, please share your recipe for cod and milk spread. Joanne says, learned a lot again. Thank you for this session. You are very welcome, Joanne. I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning if you can make it. Looking forward to it. And don't forget to join at 10. I feel like my water is a little bit too plain, but that's okay. I'm learning as well as I go. So thank you all for learning with me. Bye, everyone. Gotta go.